Initial startup procedure for a small, medium, or large continuous dilution purge gas inlet kit with the CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator. The following procedure should be performed when initially starting up a purge pressurization system that is using a continuous dilution purge gas inlet kit. When used in combination with a CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator, you will be shown how to calculate dilution time for an enclosure with no source of release. Step 1. Make sure the area surrounding the enclosure in which the continuous dilution purge gas inlet kit and CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator are to be installed is known to be non-hazardous. Step 2. After it has been assured that the area surrounding the enclosure is known to be non-hazardous, open the enclosure door. Step 3. After opening the enclosure door, install both the continuous dilution purge gas inlet kit and a CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator per installation instructions located in their respective manuals. Step 4. After both units have been installed and the enclosure door is still open, verify that purge gas is being supplied to the enclosure. Rotate the shutoff valve to the on position. Then pull the regulator's pressure control knob upwards to unlock it. Next, turn the regulator's pressure control knob clockwise to raise the pressure and increase purge gas flow to the enclosure. Step 5. After purge gas supply to the enclosure has been verified, turn off the purge gas by turning the regulator's pressure control knob counterclockwise. Step 6. With the protective gas supply pressure turned off, properly close and latch the enclosure door. Step 7. With the enclosure door closed and properly latched, apply power to the CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator. Warning! Do not turn on power to electrical equipment located in the enclosure for which the CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator will be monitoring purge pressure unless the area has been properly tested and is known to not contain explosive materials. Step 8. With power applied to the CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator, start to raise the purge gas pressure within the enclosure by turning the regulator's pressure control knob clockwise until the CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator's green LED illuminates. Step 9. With the CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator green LED illuminated, rotate the purge gas shutoff valve to the off position. Step 10. With the protective gas shutoff valve in the off position, record the pressure reading on the continuous dilution purge gas inlet kit pressure gauge. If the pressure reading shown is between numbers, turn the regulator's pressure control knob clockwise until the pressure reading rests on a whole number. The pressure shown on the gauge will later be used to calculate the purge dilution time. The purge dilution time is required before power can be applied to electronics within the purged enclosure. Only use the pressure recorded on the gauge when the continuous dilution purge gas inlet kit shutoff valve is in the off position to calculate the dilution time required before power can be connected to the electronics within the enclosure. Step 11. Variables required for Purge Solutions' Purge Dilution Time Calculator are as follows. First, take notice that you are using a purge gas inlet kit that is appropriate for a continuous dilution application. Second, note which size purge gas inlet kit is being used, small, medium, or large. Third, determine your preferred units of measurement, English or metric. Next, determine the purge gas supply pressure that is being delivered to the purge gas inlet kit regulator. Take note of the pressure reading on the purge gas inlet kit gauge with the purge gas inlet kit shutoff valve in the off position. Finally, determine the height, depth, and width of the enclosure. Step 12. After recording the pressure reading on the continuous dilution purge gas inlet kit pressure gauge, rotate the shutoff valve to the on position and start the manual dilution time cycle. Step 13. After a dilution time has been established, the dilution time, the continuous dilution purge gas inlet kit pressure gauge setting, and the purge gas supply pressure should all be recorded for use during any future maintenance and/or service of the purge enclosure. Note: if you are using one of Purge Solutions' continuous dilution purge gas inlet kits to supply purge gas to an enclosure with a CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator, refer to Purge Solutions' website to use the dilution time software to calculate dilution time for your size enclosure. This dilution software can only be used if you are using a Purge Solutions purge gas inlet kit, as the dilution time software calculations are based on empirical tests performed with Purge Solutions purge gas inlet kits and proprietary vents. Note: the dilution time cycle must be long enough to ensure that at least 5 times the volume of free space in the enclosure of purge protective gas is exchanged before power can be manually applied to the electrical equipment inside the purged enclosure. Note: the dilution time cycle can be reduced by increasing the purge gas pressure that is supplied into the enclosure through the purge gas inlet kit. To make this change, repeat the foregoing procedure beginning with step 9. The new pressure shown on the purge gas inlet kit gauge will be used to calculate a lower dilution time. Repeat this process until an appropriate dilution time is reached. Step 14. With dilution variable set, push the regulator's pressure control knob down to lock it. Step 15. After dilution time has elapsed and the CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator's green LED is still illuminated, power can then be connected to the electrical equipment within the now protected enclosure. Warning: the number of exchanged volumes may be higher in some situations. If purge pressure becomes less than 0.2 inches of H2O, or 0.5 millibars, the CYCLOPS Y or Z purge indicator does not disconnect power to the electrical equipment within the enclosure it has been monitoring. It will only alarm. Failure to heed the following information may lead to injury of personnel or equipment damage. Before initially starting the equipment, electrical power wiring must be checked for correct size and routing. Refer to all ATEX, CEC, IECEX, or NEC/NFPA certificates for any special conditions of use. If an X appears after the certificate number, it indicates that the equipment or protective system is subject to special conditions for safe use specified in the schedule of the certificate.